Hey everyone, welcome back to our weekly ANDS Team live training call right here on Facebook. As you guys know, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to all jump on the call and start sharing your wins for the week. But just to continue from what we were talking about a little bit last week, we did have a topic, a theme that we were wasn't raffle's not the right word. We were I guess voting on the topic that we wanted to hear this week, and we had two choices. The first choice was it's not all about you, Cupcake, and it was the second choice that won, which was the topic of tonight's discussion, which is it's time to work. And I gotta be honest with you, I thought you guys would go more for the Cupcake one, it not being all about you. And to be honest with you, that one's my favorite one, and that's the one I can't wait to do. But I will wait because you guys said that you wanted to hear It's Time to Work first. So next week we will continue with It's Not All About You, Cupcake. And I had mixed feelings because I thought you guys would want to hear that one because that's the one that everyone needs to hear, and we all, need that extra kick in the pants when it comes to that topic. But you guys voted for It's Time to Work, and I guess we all need that, work push as well. But I was, interested to see which one would win. That's why I put it out to you guys to just vote on it. So It's Time to Work won out, and I'm actually excited to get to sharing with you guys and talk some more about it. But as you know, the way it goes on these calls that we do, we actually start off with our wins for the week. The things that we're celebrating, the accomplishments that we have between the last call and this call. And we do that every week. It's super important because we feel that it is important for us to take the time to celebrate our achievements, recognize our success, to appreciate the things that we have accomplished before we just keep moving on to the next thing without taking time to recognize. As women, we always say, we're always just moving from one thing to another. There's so many things happening. I think it's great that we take the time each week to celebrate what we've done and what we've accomplished, because sometimes we are accomplishing a lot, but because we don't take the time to appreciate it, it comes and goes, and then we get burnt out and we feel like, nothing's happening, nothing's getting done, when really and truly something is happening, and things are getting done, but we're not celebrating it. And sometimes we could feel like we're taken for granted because we're doing all this stuff, but it's like nobody sees it. So it's up to us as leaders, as we talked about last week, just taking control of the things that we do have control of and celebrating for ourselves. So it's up to us to take the time and appreciate the things that we are celebrating for ourselves. And these live training calls become a forum for that, for us to share with each other, to encourage each other, to mentor each other as well. It's not just me being the talking head sharing with you guys, but getting into the chat and conversing with each other, getting to know each other, and celebrating the things that you guys have done within the last week. So I see you guys already getting ready in the chat and sharing some of the things that you have accomplished, which is awesome. I'm going to get to that in a minute. We're going to let the audience build up a little more, and I'm going to share my win for the week with you. I had one ready, and then it just kind of paled in comparison with the win that I'm actually going to share. For those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest, I think I pinned it. But for those of you who don't follow me in the other social media channels, I was actually quoted for some things. I was interviewed for an article on madamenoire.com, MADAMENOIRE.com, and they wrote an article featuring my story of how I paid off my student loans and debt. But what I really like about this article is that it gives you 5 steps. I shared some tips that you can actually just take and put into action. So it wasn't just, okay, here's Georgiana's story again. It was, okay, well, what did she do and how can I take what she did and implement it? So share that with your young millennials, your students in college, to just show them that this can be done. And so that was my win, the fact that that article came out. I believe it was Monday. Yes, we're only on Tuesday. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday, but yesterday the article came out, and I was just really excited to be able to share that. And it's super exciting because we think about, okay, you know, our business, our side hustle, our little side thing. We always give it this little side, and I'm like, this business has changed my life and in ways I never even imagined that it could. So I mean, it's still in the process of changing. Things are still happening, and I hope that this is not the end of it and amazing things continue to happen. But just every time I talk about when I first got started, when I'm working with new representatives and we're talking about the things that you do when you're first getting started, or when I'm sharing the opportunity with people and I'm sharing what this business has done for me and the other women in my life, you guys who are growing your business, and it's always just so amazing to see how such tiny decisions can have such a humongous impact on your life. I mean, when I first started, I wanted to just help pay with books, pay for my books for school, and help pay for materials, and that was my biggest concern at the time. And I had no idea that it would continue on into this. So you guys, whatever you are doing, don't knock it, don't minimize it, don't make it into something tiny, because it can be something that's huge and amazing for you. And I would like to say, you know, if you just believe, but to be honest with you, even sometimes, as was the case with me, when you don't even believe that it can happen, just keep plugging away at it, keep pushing. And I guess it kind of falls in line with today's topic of discussion, but keep working at it, because it could become something that you can't even imagine it being, if you just kind of let that happen. But it doesn't happen unless you're in the running for it. If you pull out too early and quit and give up, you're just like aborting all the potential for all your I can't even say dreams, because a lot of it is stuff that you can't even imagine would happen to you, but you know, all the stuff that could possibly happen. And without going into next week's topic of discussion, sometimes the obstacles that you're going through, we always say your tests can be turned into a testimony. So sometimes you could be going through a tough time. Trust me, I didn't want to be the kid who didn't have money saved up for her college tuition. Nobody wants to be that one. But it's that obstacle, that refining fire, those things that happen to you that you maybe would never have asked to have happened to you, that turn into a source of motivation for someone else. So anyway, that was my win for the week, and that was kind of the thought process that I was in over the course of yesterday evening and today. Had a lot of time to think today because it was a snow day, so we were all home, but I had to work from home, so I didn't get to do all the stuff that I wanted to do. But those were some of the things that were playing out in my mind, and I said I really wanted to share it with you guys on this live stream, my Avon family. So that was my win for the week. Check out madamenoir.com. They're also on Twitter. They tweeted the article, and I have the link on my Facebook page, as well as my Avon by Georgiana Facebook page, if it's kind of gotten buried in my posts, my personal page posts for today. But it's on madamenoir.com, and you can check it out there. But it's super exciting. Sometimes I know I'll get used to it. Watch me get used to it at the same time that it just, it peters out. So, you know, when everybody's over it, then I'm going to be like, oh, that was me. But even now, I'm still kind of just like, wow, this is awesome. But, you know, it's this business and it's this company that has made that possible. So, all right, let's see who we have on our live stream so far. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you? Chris has some good news. I'm going to give her a heads up. I keep throwing you guys under the bus, right? You guys are not going to share your wins with me anymore. Hey, Chris. Hey, how are you? Miss Susan, welcome to the live chat. Hey, Milagros. Sorry, I'm reading Milagros and Jessica's Z. She changed her picture, so I was like, wait, huh? Okay. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Miss Colleen, let's see what she's got here. On call, won't make it tonight. We'll listen to the replay. Oh, girl, that's what the replay is for. I will see you later. Be sure to comment. Miss Minnie, hello and welcome. Melissa, welcome. Okay, let's see. We got some wins rolling in. So Chris said the leads she got from over the weekend have gone from 3 to 7. Big jump, Chris. Okay, so she went from having 3 leads this weekend to 7, and she has 3 more events coming up. Congratulations. She said her event went pretty good. And that's where she got the 3 leads, and she also got 3 more customers. Awesome job, Chris. And I just want to take a stop to, I just want to stop and take a minute to talk a little bit more about that. Chris has not been a representative for a long time. A couple of months, Chris. Maybe 3 or 4, if that much. Chris is a relatively new representative. She found an event. We've kind of been talking about it, but she planned and put it together and organized it and everything all by herself. She had some really great ideas. Last week we were talking about her sample packs with the raffle cards, and I was just really impressed with her organizing this event, because I know, especially as a new representative, it can be scary to go out on your own to do an event. You know, a lot of times we're feeling like we need to remember the properties of all the products that are available. Like, we need to memorize the entire brochure. And we tell you guys, you don't have to do that. The key thing is that you get out there and talk to people. Get out there and network and promote your business and grow. Chris says she's been a rep since November. Awesome. So what is that? November, December, January, February, March, 5, just a little over 4 months. So about 5 months. So she's relatively new at this, but she took that leap and she went out there and she planned this event all by herself. And it was a success, a huge success. She went from having 3 leads to now having 7. So her customer base is growing. She's got prospects for new events, but that wouldn't have happened unless she had taken that initiative to get out there. So guys, don't feel like, she called me and we talked a little bit about it before, but she didn't, she wasn't like, okay, well, you know, I need to have everything. I need to go and shop and spend a ton of money buying the banners and the tablecloths and the sample packs and you know, a million brochures and stock up on products. And a lot of times I see in the chats we're going through and everybody's like, okay, I'm having this event, the world is ending, and I need to have a bunker full of products and supplies and information, and I need to do like 5 years of study before I'll be ready for this event. And we're like, no, just do it. To be honest with you, you'll learn the fastest, and the best way to learn is just by doing it. You'll pick up things, you'll come up with ideas. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely okay to post and, you know, ask a question here and there. Definitely share your ideas. I always say we learn a lot from each other, just sharing what we've done. But her experience of being there is going to outweigh any type of, you know, 5-hour Q&A that she's could have done with me, her district manager, other representatives, or on all the Facebook forums. So I digress. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Chris, but congratulations to you on your event. Miss Janet, live. Yes, so now we can actually talk. Hey, Hope, welcome. Miss Maria, welcome to the chat. Miss Renee. Renee, I think, also had a good event this week, or was it the week before, but I'm not going to put you on the spot either. Just let me know in the chat box. Let's see. Miss Janet says her problem is patience with building a team. She wants to build it big now. Pun. But shout out to the Garcias. But okay, so she's having problems with patience. All right. I think actually we're going to get into that topic a little more next week. So we're going to touch on that tonight, and then we'll dive into that a little more, Miss Janet. But don't rush it. What do they say? Patience is a virtue. I hate that, because I'm just like you, and I am like now, yesterday, everything, and my sister calls me on it all the time. But we're gonna come back to that. Miss Janet, bear with me. Hey, Nicole. Hello. Okay, she also has some things that she's celebrating. Miss Janet says she's her win for the week is a few online surprise sales. That is great. Don't you guys just love having your free website that we don't have to pay for, but being able to log on and see that a customer placed an order that is going to be shipped directly to them, and the earnings from that will be deposited into your account. I just love that. And whenever it happens, I'm like the heavens open up, the light shines down for all of 2 minutes. So congratulations, Miss Janet. Online sales are awesome. Hey, Miss Kathleen, how are you? Miss Cordelia, welcome. Oh, girl, you didn't go out today? We're all in, right? Welcome to the chat, Miss Cordelia. It's good to speak with you live. Miss Anitra, hello, girlfriend. Welcome. I see you guys sending some congratulations to each other. All right, Miss Melissa says she got a recruit today from a brochure she took to a school 2 weeks ago. It had a bookmark in it with her 7 reasons to join her team. Awesome. It's amazing. A lot of times, and I guess, Miss Janet, this is one of those things where a lot of times we go out there and sometimes we feel like, okay, we went out, but nothing happened. But in reality, something always happens. Just by going out, you're honing your skills, you're learning and practicing your spiel, your introductions, your conversation, you're overcoming objections. So anytime you're talking to people, you're practicing and you're growing and you're learning from the experience of that conversation. Plus, I like to think of it as you're planting seeds. So Miss Melissa went out 2 weeks ago. So there was a 2-week time where she could have said, okay, well, I went out, that didn't work, I'm going to quit. I know she's not going to because she's like a super leader. But sometimes we get that feeling where we're like, okay, that was a waste. I kid you not, guys, I have done events where I've given out brochures and people have called me 6 months later to order from that brochure. I've had customers who placed an order and a year later they're like, do you remember that sample you gave me? And I'm like, no, it was a year ago. But, they might be asking for that sample. So you guys have to plant the seeds. Every time you go out, every time you're doing an activity, you are planting the seeds for some follow-up, some connection later on. So congratulations to Melissa. A recruit is awesome. From a brochure? What? Congratulations, Melissa. Hey, Magali, how are you? Miss Anitra is leading with like the like, where's the big stuff? Okay, so Miss Anitra said she has views and likes, all new views and likes on her Avon page, and she's working on building a consistent customer base. Awesome, great job, Miss Anitra. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Miss Anitra. There's some other things that you're celebrating. I'm just throwing everybody under the bus. It's a massacre. But this is great because you guys have so much to celebrate. And I love getting like the side messages from you guys. Like, hey, guess what? I'm going to have something to share. The text messages. I love it. So I know you guys aren't going to send me anymore because I keep calling you out. But I'm encouraging you. I'm trying to help you get comfortable sharing. Chris said the advice from others has helped. Awesome. Magali says she's trying to put up an event, but she doesn't know how to start. Start by talking to people. Talk to people in your neighborhood. Like, find out what kind of event do you want to do. Do you want to work with elementary schools? Do you want to work with craft fairs? Do you want to partner with a business to do an event? Decide on what kind of event you want to do and talk to people. Talk to your friends, your family, the people you know, and see if you can help them out in any way by doing an event. I have, in the past, I've partnered with my local public library. I've partnered with local businesses. Sometimes I'll just partner with other reps like, okay, we're going to go to this place and we're going to get something going. And, we create an event. And I've had events where we've gotten out there where we started something and other businesses have come out. I think it was 2 years ago, I was out with Mary Botchway and we just decided to create our own pop-up event. And the store owner came out and was like, look, we have all this stuff. We're doing a promotion. You could give this all away. And I was like, okay, we have some Avon stuff. We're doing a promotion. You can give this stuff away to your customers too. And we're like, oh, great. And we developed a nice little connection with that business. So Magali, the best place to start is what you've kind of done here, expressing that you do want to start and, make up your mind to do it, but take it to the next step, move it up to the next level and get out there and talk to people, see what kind of events are in your area And if there aren't any, or if you're, sometimes, I know in my area, sometimes like the craft fairs are $120, $160, and ain't nobody got time for that. But create your own event. Remember what we talked about last week, where you're the leader and you have to kind of take the reins on things and do what's within your power. Think about what you can do and just leverage that and just do something. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a humongous event. My first, I share with you guys all the time, my first sip and shop had all of 2 people in attendance. So, just throw something together. Get some ideas started and test them out. Not all of them will work, and that's okay, because everything that you do, you'll learn from. Let's see what we've got here. We've got some highs and hellos. Hi, Miss Diane. Welcome. Kathleen says she loves online sales. We all do, yes. Janet says she gets compliments from customers when she sends them a handwritten card thanking them for their online order. She gives a free sample in that thank you card and a discount code for the next order. Love that, Janet. That is awesome. I love that personal touch too for your online customers, because sometimes they're disconnected from a rep and they just go online and place the order. They don't, I can't tell you how many times I meet a person in the street who's like, yeah, no, I don't have a rep. I order online. And I'm like, you have a rep. So that's a great way to also encourage repeat customers, connect with your customers. I love that, Janet. Send them a little postcard with some samples. Renee says she has events planned this month, and she added a new team member. Awesome, Miss Renee. Miss Renee is like the event guru. Miss Elizabeth, welcome. Welcome to live training. Sabrina says she's also trying to get more online sales. Kathleen says, oh, congratulations. Okay, great. Miss Janet, we're all throwing everybody under the bus. Miss Janet is throwing Anitra under the bus. So, Miss Janet is sharing that Anitra is a new Rise Up Achiever. Woo! I wish I had like, digital graphics with confetti that fall. Congratulations, Miss Anitra. She made Bronze Ambassador officially. Rise Up Achiever, girl. So, yeah. Okay. Congratulations to you. That is a humongous achievement, girl. Keep going. Celebrate first. Stop and celebrate for a minute. Anitra and I are like that. We're like, okay, we hit a milestone. Great. Next, we need to do this, this, and this. But take that time to celebrate. But congratulations, Miss Anitra. Hey, Kamini. Welcome. Janet S. Oh, I have to differentiate between the Janets. Okay, so Janet S says, yeah, so planting the seed is key. And if she does it enough, they'll eventually come. She hears my voice in the future saying, build it and they will come. I love that. And it's funny because I've never seen that movie. But when I first started with Avon, that was the quote that I had. When I started doing all my events, I had that. If you build it, they will come. And a lot of the stuff that I did, I didn't have anybody in attendance. I didn't have friends who were attending. I didn't know who was going to come. And I kept just hearing that. So that's a great quote, Miss Janet. You and I are definitely on the same page as that. A whole full stream of congratulations for Miss Anitra. Congratulations for Miss Renee. I love that we're all working towards moving up in title, because first and foremost, that's where the money is. You do want to grow your business, because each time you do, it's like you get a pay raise. You get a higher percentage of your commission. So definitely, guys, don't sleep on the Rise Up incentives, all these incentives that come with building your team. You definitely do. I know we all want to grow, and sometimes it's a little harder. Like Miss Janet was saying, sometimes you have to have the patience. But if you're building consistently, it will come. And I'm speaking to myself here too, because I get frustrated, like, we're not moving fast enough. But if you're building consistently, you'll gain traction. And I like to think, you guys know my hill analogy. Sometimes it's hard going up the hill on the steep side, but once you gain that momentum, it's a lot easier when you get to the other side. It's just, getting to that point. So Miss Anitra is doing an awesome job building and growing her business. let's see. Miss Haynes, she's not going to miss this. Just sent in her order. Oh, okay. Yeah, stay on the call. We'll put your order in, and then we'll continue. So great job, guys. Lots of things to celebrate today. I'm glad you guys are celebrating more. I love seeing the variety in celebrations that we have, but I'm not done. I still want to see more, because I see you guys sneaking in towards the middle of the call thinking that you can miss the cutoff for sharing your wins. Anyway, so first, before we jump into tonight's topic of discussion, which is it's time to work, I do want to share some things that I've got. These are the face masks that we were talking about last week. We have the brightening sheet mask and the firming sheet mask. So I have our samples. I'm thinking about doing a video on these a little bit later, but definitely, guys, if you have either the samples or the full-size product, I encourage you to get on social media with them, share them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you're on, take pictures, post, share, and tag. And then now I kind of want to get into some good stuff. Last week, I find lately that there's so much good stuff that I can't even focus. So last week we touched a little bit on the core Avon brochure for campaign 8, as well as the Mark stuff that's coming out. And I kind of want to share some of the things that are in the household section, the Avon living section, and my favorite, fashion. So Avon is coming out with some really great fashion items, and as I was sharing in the last call, I love the fashion because it's something that we all can wear as representatives to share with our customers. Anybody here allergic to cotton? Nope. Okay, good. So you can, wear the handbags, wear the clothing, without having like, oh, I don't know how to wear makeup, or I don't know how to recommend skincare, or share the skincare. Throw on some jewelry and you're in business. And for anyone who might be watching who is maybe thinking about getting started with their own business, who's saying, okay, maybe I'm not a makeup person, I don't really know how to do the makeup, I don't know what kind of products to recommend, just try the jewelry, the skin, the clothing, and the fashion, because those are things that you don't have to have all of this knowledge to talk about. But this is something that I wanted to share from the campaign 8 What's New. Avon has a really awesome graphic here of all the samples. I just want to leave a note for you guys. I think it was Miss Renee. Were you laminating, Renee, this week? I think Miss Renee was saying how she laminates her pages. I put them in a little binder sleeve, but I thought that this was a great page to save for yourself, save for your notes, so that you know what the different samples are that are available, so that you have the product numbers, and so that you can see how many come in each pack and what they look like, what the colors are, etc. So this is probably something that you want to keep for yourself. It's in the campaign 8 What's New, this one, so you can just keep that. I also wanted to share from the What's New. It's Armando! So this is someone I'm proud to say is my friend, Mr. Armando Tabrone. He shares some really great tips for growing your business. I love the tip section from other representatives in the What's New. On the one hand, it's great because a lot of times it's like, hey, I know that person. So it's really nice to see a brother or sister from Avon that you can just kind of celebrate their success. But he gives you some really great reasons to grow your business and some ideas for how you can do that. So whenever you get a What's New, the first thing I check out is actually, I'm training myself because it used to be the products, but I tend to look for representative testimonials and tips and tricks from the top. So definitely check those out. But I want to jump on over to our Avon Living What's New. I don't know if you guys can see, it's probably hidden, but I've been editing my makeup table with some with different items from the last Avon Living catalog. This is, do you guys remember this in the last Avon Living catalog? This was the, I don't even know what they called it, but it was like this glass container. I've been using it for just random jewelry stuff, but it's so cute because it disconnects. So you end up with 3 separate little containers and the little lid so you can use it any way you want. I love acrylic because it's, I love plastic because as you can see, I'm a little bit, not delicate at all. I'm a little destructive. So I like having stuff that's sturdy, and I like to have my makeup and my jewelry in a way that I can see it all, because when your collection starts to grow, as mine has, you want to be able to see all the things that you have without, you know, opening every single drawer in your house to find it. So I love having the acrylics on my makeup table. So I just picked up this guy from the Avon Living, but I love, with a capital L, the Avon Living catalog, because it's stuff that everyone can use. So get these items, get the Avon Living catalog out to your customers, because I'm finding that a lot of the customers, even if they're not really into jewelry or makeup or clothing or skincare, they want their house to look nice. So the Avon Living catalog has something for everyone, the men and the ladies. Diane says she loves the Avon Living catalog as well. And it's household stuff, so it gives us a whole new market to reach out to. And what that means is that you have a bigger customer base. The other day I heard a representative saying that she doesn't bother to order the Avon Living. And I was like, that's kind of sad, because you're missing out on all of those extra sales. Because when customers see this stuff, it's things that they could get for gifts for anyone on their list. Right now, with spring coming up, I know I'm dying to have an event. Mother's Day events are coming up soon. People are doing Mother's Day brunches. These are great items to use. And as representatives, I also recommend having them on display at your events as well, because people will look at it and say, oh, how beautiful. These little lettuce bowls are everything. When I saw this setup in this display, it looks like like you're eating out of little flowers, doesn't it? And I was like, it comes in, they have the lettuce bowl, like the big one for fruit, and then they have the little bowls. They're called blossom bowls. They're cute little tiny fruit bowls, and I just thought that is so adorable and creative. I like the Avon Living because it's stuff that I'm not going to walk into, you know, everywhere else and see. I might see things that are like it, kind of, sort of, that's trending, because Avon is up on the trends and they do get items that are popular, but it's always there's something different about it. So we have something that's special and unique to offer to our customers, but if our customers don't know that we have it, then it's not doing us any good. So I try to get whenever there's a new Avon Living catalog, I order it and I send it out to my customers so that they could look through it. And I have had a lot of customers come back and order from it, even if they weren't placing an order for anything else. So take a look at the items that they have and see what's available so that you can share with your customers. People are starting to spruce up their gardens now, so they're running to Home Depot and Lowe's, but they can be ordering it from you, a small business, a small woman-owned business for many of us. I know there are a few good Avon men out there. I'm not forgetting about you, but they can be ordering it from a small business and supporting a small local business. So don't sleep on the Avon Living catalogs, guys, please. There's some really good stuff in there. All right, so now we get down to the good stuff. Let's see how the comments are going. Kathleen says, wear, show, and sell is one of the keys to getting customers. Yes, absolutely. And samples. It's just one of the foundations of our business, is what we do. So don't feel like you can't sell or have a successful business because you don't do makeup or skincare. The jewelry is can be your key to just letting people know that you have your business going. And I mail a Avon button out to everyone on my team when they join, because that's also a great way to promote your business. So there are different ways that you can use to grow and promote your business. But as we're going to talk about on this call, sorry, swivel chair today, I'm like, so one of the things that you can, it's one of the ways that you can grow your business. But it'll make it easier for you to wear and share and show. A lot of us are afraid of being pushy salespeople, but I mean, we sell things all the time. When we have a restaurant we love and we're telling all our friends and family about it, it's free promotion. We're not getting paid for that. So why not let the things that you're referring people to be something that you're selling and earning from? Miss Janet says she was just putting labels on her Avon Living catalogs as she was watching this stream. She can't wait to start handing out the new one. There are great items in it to order, and she tries to order at least 2 of them to showcase. Let's see what she's got here. She's got the bath towels, but she hasn't used them yet. I haven't tried the bath towels. Can we see some photos on your Facebook, Miss Janet? But yeah, I mean, post online, because right now, social selling is very big. I mean, social selling, I think, has always been big. We've always tend to, if you need to find a new dentist or a new babysitter or a new church or a new party place, the first thing you do is ask the people within your social circle where they go, who they would recommend. It's just within our nature, because a recommendation from a friend actually carries more weight than, seeing a commercial. So we need to really promote the products that we have, either through wearing it and sharing and showing it, as Miss Kathleen said, but as well as promoting on social media. And don't just, do the, share the products from the brochure, but I feel like it carries more weight when, instead of just saying, here's the brochure, here's the brochure, here's the brochure, look at the new item I got. This is not new. This is probably one of the first items I've ever bought from Avon when I first joined. But share the products, as you're using them. Miss Janet just got new towels. Take a quick picture of how beautiful they look in your bathroom. Different things like that. Share like you would with a friend. Don't put yourself in the mindset of, I need to promote like I'm a catalog or a TV commercial. Your friends, they're your friends for a reason, so just promote the way that you normally would. If you're excited about it, really share that excitement, because at least I've found that when people know that you're genuine about what you love and about what you do, they don't feel like you're being pushy. They know that you do what you do because you love it, and most of the time people will appreciate you and appreciate your honesty. If you don't like something, of course, don't promote it. Definitely 100% be honest about it, but be organic in your sharing. Don't just always let it be, okay, this is my brochure. Campaign 5, campaign 6, campaign 7, campaign 8, campaign 9. But, okay, this is new fashion. This is a new outfit. These are new shoes. I love Miss Cordelia. She shares a lot of the posts from her customers. In the clothing, in the jewelry, in the shoes. She takes pictures and she posts them onto her social media. And I love those, because a lot of times I'm like, I didn't know that dress would look good on a curvy girl, or, oh, I didn't know that those shoes would look awesome. I think last week or the week before, I was talking about the trench coat. One day she wore it when we were doing a field event, and people kept coming up to her and complimenting her on that trench coat. And sure enough, I bought that trench coat and I now have it. I haven't even taken it out of the packaging yet, but I just had to have it because I was like, it was so beautiful on her. So model your clothing, take pictures on your social media, and share. Take pictures of your customers in the products as well. Hey, Miss Lucy, welcome. So tonight's topic of discussion is get ready to work. And it's kind of weird because today was kind of a slow day. We were home because of the snow. As I said, I had to work from home, so it didn't make much of a difference. But a lot of us had today off, and I actually started my day with a post. It's the one of the case in front of the staircase, because I was thinking, a lot of the time we will get up and look at the weather and say, okay, well, it's a snow day. I'm not going to do anything today. We're going to stay in and sip hot cocoa. But in the same breath, we're saying we want to grow our business. We want to grow our team. We want to find more customers and increase our sales. So your home, your customers, your friends, your family, your coworkers, the people the people you socialize with are probably also home. Is not this a good time to reach out and connect? It would be ideal to reach out. If they're home, you have a better chance to get in touch with them. A lot of people. And, a lot of times we love snow days because things shut down. People aren't running around crazy. So the people that we didn't have a chance to sit down and have a conversation with because they're so busy, you know, doing stuff, now they've also kind of slowed down and they've had that chance. So speaking of us catching the opportune moments and leveraging that to grow our business, those are really great times for us to say, okay, well, we have goals that we're going to reach towards. We could take this as a day off and not do anything, or we could push forward and kind of break through and overcome, because we still have to accomplish those goals, right? So why not do it? Kathleen says she saw the snow post. So why not do it in a way that's going to help us get closer to our goal? So a lot of times people see things like, okay, it's snowing, or, you know, today's an obstacle. I can't remember the representative. I wish I did. I wish I had her name. But she posted a picture of the brochure she was leaving on the little table. You know, when you go to the doctor's office, there's usually like a little magazine table. Something happened in her family. She had to take someone to the hospital, and she was building her business. Because just because life is happening doesn't mean her business stops. And I respect that. And I hold that in such high esteem, because I'm like, wow, this is someone who really wants to grow her business and accomplish those goals that she set out to achieve. And it's showing in her actions. We have this sort of quote inside of our Avon groups, which is no worky, no pay. So you take a day off, you don't get paid. You don't do the work, you don't get paid. Your Avon catalog stay in your closet. Guess what? No customers. So it's something that we joke about and we laugh about, but it's actually quite serious, and it's something that's real. If you're not working it, it's just not going to pay. It's just not going to grow. And I think it was just this past Sunday, someone said, if something is not growing, then it's not a good sign, because things that are healthy grow. If a child is not growing, then there's something wrong with their diet, or there might be a disease or disorder, but something is wrong, because children should grow. Businesses in the same way should grow. Plants grow. Populations grow. If your population's not growing, then people aren't having babies. Something is wrong. So your business in the same way should also show the same signs of growth, but those signs of growth don't appear if they're the work. Now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't used the baby analogy, because now I'm talking about the work that goes before to produce it. But anyway, so if the work that comes before, you know, like with farming, if you're not planting the seeds, like Miss Melissa, then, or like Miss Chris and Miss Renee doing the events, then the plants aren't going to get to grow. Those seeds will get to go in the soil and germinate and blossom into beautiful plants. So you have to dissolve those obstacles that will keep you from working. And the image I posted was of it's like a library with a bookcase. And have you guys ever watched those old Indiana Jones type of movies? I'm a total nerd, so I love like Stargate and stories where there's something to solve, a puzzle. And a lot of times it's involving hidden chambers and things like that. And a lot of times there's that point in the movie where the person gets into this room and it's like, oh, dead end. This is it. We came this far and it's over. There's no more. It was all a waste. And then there's always that person who goes, no, we couldn't have come this far for no reason. We got to keep looking. We got to keep searching. And, you know, they start pulling books and opening books and reading and, you know, moving torches. And then somebody will lean against something or move a book or, you know, lift or move something. And then a passageway will open up and then they continue the search. And I love those moments because it's kind of like if they had quit in that moment and said, okay, we came this far and we didn't find anything. It's over. We're done. We're just going to go home. They would have been done. They wouldn't have gotten, and usually there's a treasure or something at the end of it, but they wouldn't have gotten to that point where they find the treasure or unlock the secret and, you know, find the solution to their problem. And the entire movie would be shot like midway through. But it's like that in our businesses too. Obstacles are going to arise. We're going to get to those dead end situations in life where we feel like, it's not growing, it's not moving, it's not working, it's over, I'm done with this. It's just, I don't know what's happening here. But as we were talking about in last week's call, if we're leaders, we're going to stop and say, okay, well, what's in my control? I can stop here and go back, or I can stay in this place for as long as I have and try to figure out what's wrong, figure out what I can fix, figure out what I can do to move forward. Miss Diane says, stay positive. Yeah, if you put yourself in that mindset, that I hate to say it, but quitter mindset, then anything that comes your way, you will be in library after library after library of dead end, solid walls, and you won't get to that prize. So you have to put yourself in the mindset where you're like, okay, I'm going to push through. I don't even care if there's no hidden wall. That's what C4 is for. And I'm that kind of person. And my family hates it sometimes because I'm more just like, I know it doesn't work. I know this is not meant for me to go through, and it kind of sucks, but I want to. So get the C4, the TNT, the dynamite stick, and let's get going. Demo. That's why I'm an architect, so I can demolish walls and build staircases behind, right? But we all need to have that C4, that TNT. Oh my gosh, this video. I'm not going to be allowed on planes after this video. But, you need to have that wrecking ball. Let's use wrecking ball. It sounds a lot better than explosives. Oh, man. But we need to have that wrecking ball in our arsenal so that when we get to those points, either we keep looking and we find that secret passageway that's going to push us through, or when we get to that area where we're like, dead end, we pull out the wrecking ball and we start knocking walls down, because we can't let these things come in our way and keep us from accomplishing the dreams and goals. So, don't let your obstacles get in the way. Don't let them stop you from doing what you need to do. Keep your mindset in the mindset of, you're searching, you're building, you're getting closer to those answers. Each step is a step forward. Work on it. Work on finding the solutions. Earlier in the week, I posted a little quote. Gosh, maybe it was last week. I think it was last week. But I posted a quote, like mathematicians, they solve puzzles every day. And, it's their job to find solutions and answers. Could you imagine if all the mathematicians and all the physicists in the world said, oh, you know what? These puzzles are too hard. I'm tired of having to come up with new solutions to things every day. I don't know what to do. I am done. I just don't want to do this. But they don't. They keep going. They plug through. Some of these people spend years trying to figure out formulas and working on theories, concepts behind something bigger. And sometimes for generations, they're working on, different concepts. And if they quit, then they never get to that aha moment. They never get to that breakthrough. A few years ago, they had that super collider in, I think it was Stern, somewhere in one of those other countries, I think Switzerland. They have the super collider, colliding particles to create new stuff. That's something that someone didn't just wake up with overnight and say, oh, I've got it, eureka, I'm going to build a super collider in Switzerland and we're going to do some stuff with that. It took generations of work and building on the ideas of the people who came before them. So we really have to get out of this mindset of, okay, we're going to try this for a month, and if it doesn't work, I'm done. It doesn't work like that. You can't, that's not how success happens. Sometimes I'm talking to people and the other day I was talking to a gentleman and he came here, like literally on the backs of his ancestors. Someone in his country made a decision that, the family wants to get over here. And, they started making changes and saving. They weren't able to go. They were able to send their children. And those children, when those children came here, that first generation, they weren't able to live the glamorous, luxurious lifestyles. They saved and worked hard to put their children into school. So now the second generation is the one that got to go to school. So some of these things are generational. I don't understand why sometimes we have the mindset where we're like, okay, we need this done yesterday. And again, talking to myself here, because sometimes it takes time for those seeds to germinate. And I said this in a call a few years ago. I heard someone say that, I think it's carrots, and I think I always confuse this, but there's a plant that people plant. I think it was Maria Durso who gave the analogy. I have to look up her presentation and repost it. But she said, I think it's carrots, but there's a plant that this community plants. But the plant is the crop that they use to eat and survive on, but it doesn't grow. It takes more than one generation to grow. So when they plant, they're not planting for themselves, they're planting for their children and their children's children. And you could look at them and say, okay, well, why are you even bothering to plant this? Because you're not going to get to benefit from it. But their mindset is they planted because their parents and their grandparents before them planted so that they can have now. So now when they plant, they're planting for the next generation. So in the same way, when you're planting your seeds and you're out there building your business, sometimes it's hard to say, okay, well, I need this now. I need this extra income for today. I need to pay the rent, which is due tomorrow. I need, there are a lot of pressing issues on us right now. But if you take that and say, okay, well, this is not going to work. I'm not going to do this because it's not feeding me. It's not paying. It's not working out right now. You could be severing, what could be coming out of it later on. And trust me, I know it's super hard sometimes to even think about this because the needs and the issues are so pressing, but don't give up because you don't have it today. You'll still survive with it without having it down the line. So keep working at it, keep pushing it, you keep pushing through. Don't accept that failure at that moment. Find something else, another workaround to go through and get what you're looking for down the road. And another thing I want to think about with you guys is, or get you guys to be thinking about is, I like to think about businesses as businesses. I really like to sometimes step back from the business that I'm in now, be it Avon or architecture, and think about how businesses work as a whole. So, one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of representatives is we have this idea of how direct sales, MLMs, how running a business works. And a lot of times I'm like, that's not a realistic model of a business. Think about it. If you start a store, a laundromat, a candy store, whatever it is that you're selling, what are the things that come with that responsibility? You have usually some type of quota, a sales quota, a goal, a customer, a number of customers that you need to service. Why is that? Because you've got quotas, you've got bills to pay, you've got rent, you've got employees. Sometimes you take out a loan ahead of time to open the business. You've got utilities to pay, light, gas, electricity, water, if you're a laundromat. And you have to use that goal, your quota, to work backwards from to determine how much you need to sell, how much you need to generate. So if you have, one employee that you need to give $100 a week to, you need to generate at least $100 in your business, right? Why is it that those of us who are in business for ourselves have this idea where we're like, okay, we need to make the money. I'm not making any money. We have to develop that action plan that's going to get us to those goals in the same way that we would have to if we were a business with employees and bills and utilities to pay. We need to make a list of all the things that we have, our bills that we want our business to pay, all of our expenses, all of our goals. If our goal is to earn a Disney trip at the end of the year, earn enough to pay for a Disney trip, and it's maybe $1,000. Or to go to the Avon Rep Fest that we have this coming August. I haven't talked to you guys about Rep Fest in a while. Okay, we're going to do Rep Fest. So if your goal is maybe to save up, I don't know, $1,000 to go to Rep Fest, how are you going to get there? It's not enough to just say, okay, yeah, I want to go to Rep Fest. I want to raise the money to do it. There's got to be the actions behind that. So you need to determine how much you need, break it down, and work backwards from there. You have to always have some type of action plan and not just expect things to show up. I know I talk big sometimes about, dynamite and wrecking balls and, breaking through the obstacles. But a lot of the time it boils down to having an action plan. Once you've, first, yes, you have to make up your mind to succeed. But after that, you've got to take the time to make that plan. For myself, I love how we have the 90-day plans, because that gives me something that I can do that's repetitive, that keeps me on track. I know every 90 days, what are my goals that I'm working on? 90 days is 3 months, so it's easy. So for the next 3 months, what am I working on? What goals do I want to accomplish at the end of that 3 months? How far do I want to be at the end of that 3 months towards my goal? In the terms of a business, I could say, okay, I have 3 months to pay back this loan that I borrowed. I have 3 months to generate enough to pay for this utility, whatever it is. But by setting that timeline, I know that I have that 90 days to work with. And I love that our business has kind of implemented that into the way we work things. And if you're not doing your 90-day plans, I really encourage you to reach out to your district manager or your upline and, get a plan going. Let them work with you, because as uplines and as district managers, we're trained to work with you to help you plan that. And those of you for yourselves who are trying to track towards goals, kind of take a step back from having this, pie in the sky idea of, I want to accomplish this goal, and try to put it down on paper within your 90-day plan. Some of our goals, the entire goal is not going to fit in 90 days, but if you can break it down and say, okay, overall, I want to make, $1 million. But I know in the next 5 years, maybe I need to make 500,000. In the next year, I need to be 100,000. Okay, well, how am I going to do that? By month, by every 12 months, by every 6 months, by every 3 months. Break it down like that. And just work on the 90-day plans, because a lot of times it'll either help you to see that your idea maybe needs more time, or that you need to just refine some of the things that you're working on. But by giving yourself a goal that you're working towards each day, you'll have something to do every day that you're setting out to work on. For myself, sometimes it's something that I don't really want to do, but I know it's going to get me closer to that goal. So that is my encouragement and motivation to keep going at it. But you can't just show up to work and expect customers to fall in your lap, or recruits to just appear. In the same way that you wouldn't open a business and expect people to just show up out of nowhere. I mean, earlier Janet and I were talking about, if you build it, they will come. But if you were to open a business, think about it realistically. If you were to open a business, you don't just tell your sister and your brother that you're opening a business and expect your brother and sister to be your sole source of income for the next year as you pay your 10 employees and you pay the rent and the utilities and the bills. You do promotions, you put up banners and flyers, you get out in the community and you're doing events, you, run TV ads, whatever it is, but you do things to promote your business so that the people in your community know that you're in business. Too many of us as representatives have told the 5 people on our getting started list that we're in business and expected those 5 people to run through and order from us every 2 weeks and support our business for the rest of our lives, and it's just not enough. 10 customers is not enough to float your business. Don't think it is for your Avon business, and because you would never believe that it is for your laundromat, your grocery store, or your brand new 5-star Chef Ramsay restaurant. Those big names, those people put a lot of time and energy and marketing into generating interest for their business. How much more so do we, as the little guy, need to put the same time and energy into promoting our business? So work on your income producing activities. In the same way that you wouldn't just expect your 10 friends and family to support your business forever, you need to have activities that will go towards building your business. But they have to be real income producing activities. So, for example, using the example of being a store owner, busting the tables every day for 40 hours a week is not going to get you new customers. Let's just be real about it. So why do we feel as representatives that labeling hundreds of thousands of brochures and not getting them out, not putting them in the hands of people, not talking to people, not promoting our business is going to get us the customer base that we need? I love that Melissa said she left that brochure with someone and they came back with her later on. Could you imagine if she hadn't have left that brochure with that person in the beginning? She would have missed out on a potential new sign-up. But she took that action initially to move towards getting this outcome. A lot of us are in the mindset where we're working our business for 40 hours a week, but what are we really doing? Are we spending all 40 hours labeling brochures? Are we spending all 40 hours searching for event spaces? I love that one. I used to search for event spaces for hours. And, I would just be Googling, like, oh, that's a nice place. Oh, I'm going to talk to this owner. And when the time came for action for me to put, my money where my mouth is, I was like, oh, I'm too afraid to talk to these people. I'm too afraid to, and then I let fear become my enclosure. So don't let doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff be enough for you. You really have to stop and say, okay, well, what am I doing? What have I done this week? And that's why I love the 90-day plans, because it gives you, what steps you're going to work on. If you're not talking to your team, if you're not doing training, if you're not reaching out to new customers and doing follow-up, if you're not delivering the orders, if you're not collecting payment for your orders, if you're not getting the brochures that you spent so many hours labeling and making beautiful into the hands of actual people, if you're spending hours making baskets, I used to do this too. I would sit and make beautiful baskets and they would sit in the boxes. And one day I said, what are you doing? Like, why are you spending hours making baskets if you're not going to do anything with them? And then I started to kind of promote them and share them, use them for raffles and events and, put them on display, because I was like, I'm spending the time doing this, but it's not enough just to do it. So, selling, recruiting, developing, those are the three things that I kind of keep in mind and use as a checklist for what I'm, for all my actions. For whatever I'm doing, I start to think, okay, is this one of the three key things that are going to help me build my business? By doing this item, am I selling? By searching event spaces on the internet for 3 to 5 days. Yes, days, not hours, days. Was this really productive towards my business? Is this helping me sell, recruit, or train and develop my team? You can even be doing productive events, but not following through to see a positive outcome. I'll give you an example. Let's say, and this is one that I see very often, you go out, you have an event, it's successful, you get a recruit, awesome, she signs up, you never call that person ever again. You never call to see how they're doing, you never reach out to invite them to a training, you never send them an email to contact them, and there's no communication between you and that representative. All of the things that you did before, they're not wasted, but you didn't maximize them to their full potential. It's like, going back to the analogy of the business, it's as if you put out a bunch of coupons and ads in your local paper, inviting people to an open house celebration. People came and you didn't serve them any food. Right? So that's why I like to kind of take a step back and look at what I'm doing, in comparison to another business, because sometimes it puts things in perspective, right? To just say, okay, well, is this one of the three key things for my business? And if I was running a laundromat or a restaurant or whatever, what is this the equivalent of? Is this the equivalent of me washing all the glasses? I don't need to wash all the glasses. I have someone that I hired to do all that. There are employees over there on their Facebook because I decided to wash the glasses. No. It's my job to get out and network with the people, balance books and do managerial things, encourage and rally my team, reach out to my customers and build relationships. Those are the things that a business owner of a restaurant would want to do. Similarly, you want to do things that will grow your business in the future. Janet says she likes the ideas of fundraisers to connect with people in your community. It also lets them know that you're in business and working on a fundraising. She's working on a fundraising campaign, getting letters, flyers, etc. into a presentable format so that she can go and pound the payment. Awesome. Great example Miss Janet just gave. But could you imagine if Miss Janet said you have to show up in your business. Yeah. And could you imagine if Miss Janet spent hours and days ordering all the flyers for her fundraiser and putting it together in beautiful packets and then never went out to speak to a fundraiser organization? Would have all been, great practice in how to put together fundraising packets, but it wouldn't have gone all the way. So you really need to be intentional about your income producing activities and being realistic with yourself as to whether or not these are things that are getting you closer to your goals. Lastly, I just want to share this quote. I wish I had written down who I got it from, but there's two things. First of all, the results aren't going to come unless you're willing to put in the time. So check how much time you're spending each week working your business, and if the things that you're doing are income producing activities. And keep in mind this quote. It says that okay, here we go. I did write down the person who says it. Rory Vaden says that he gave this what they call the rent axiom. You can look it up online, but it says success is never owned, it's only rented, and the rent is due every day. So for those of us who are trying to get closer to being whatever form of success that we have in our mind, are we paying our rent every day towards getting to that successful point? Or are we, spending time to carefully craft Monopoly money to pay the rent with? We need to really show up in our business, as Janet said. So I hope that helps, just putting in the work, really being honest with ourselves about what the work is and just getting to it. It's not going to happen overnight. Getting to your success. It doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't work that way. We need to accept that from getting out of the gate. But we need to be prepared to put in that work. And I love to look at athletes. As you can tell, not an athlete, not a gym person, not a person who works out. But I love to look at athletes because they put their body through the ringer. A lot of them have full-time jobs just like we do. A lot of them have families just like we do, but they make it work. They get up early in the morning. They have coaches that they train with and work with. Why? Because they have a goal. They want to win. They don't just want to be in the race. Most people don't race for the sake of just having a race. A lot of them want to win. They want to be at the top. They want to be number one. They want a medal. They want a place. And they put themselves through it. And every time I'm feeling discouraged or getting lazy, because I do more often than I'd like to admit, but when I feel myself getting like that, I like to say, okay, right now I'm losing the conditioning that I, had for my body. When I get out of the habit of going out and talking to people, I'm losing the training. When I'm not working on my skills, then, I'm not training the way I need to be. I'm not working as if I was an athlete trying to build up towards getting that gold medal. So keep whatever it is that you need to do to keep yourself in the mindset where you're motivated and where you're consistently working towards your goals. Do it, share it, think about it, but keep in mind that it's something that you have to do every day. It's not just something that you can do once every 3 months when your upline is having an event, or once every 6 months when your district manager is having a rally. It's not something that you get excited about when there's a rally or an event or an activity, and then when you go home, it peters out. Could you imagine if racers, those long distance racers, like if Usain Bolt, well, maybe he can't because he is Bolt, but I'm pretty sure he trains just as hard as everyone else, if not harder, because he wants to keep his title of being number one. But could you imagine if he went for 6 years without running a race and he hit that track? He would be in all kinds of pain. He would break stuff. If not just hurting himself and injuring himself, he would be in some serious pain. And I think sometimes that's why when it comes time for us to put in the work and take on those activities, it's so painful, because it's like, oh my gosh, we're running a 5-mile race and we haven't stretched. We haven't gone out. We haven't recruited or prospected or shared the opportunity with someone in 6 months. And now, it's time for us to do it. We're trying to make a show for our upline or our district manager, but we're going to end up hurting ourselves and maybe the people around us because we're not doing it consistently. So even if it's talking to one person a day, talking to 3 persons a day, talking to 5 people a day, whatever it is, you need to do something consistently. You need to have a plan that you're working on. Get connected with a district manager, an upline, or even another rep if you need the accountability partner that, another rep that you're close, whatever it is. But you really need to have that accountability and be ready to work, because it's time. It's time we bring Avon to being number one. It's time that we show people out there what great products we have. I'm like stepping up to the pulpit. I'm totally in preacher mode right now, but it's really time that we, because like I said last week, we're the leaders. It's really time that we step up and, you know, start getting stuff done and stop saying, okay, well, you know, they don't, that doesn't, the company doesn't provide, the customers don't, nobody, whatever. No, it's already, we're done with that. That is 2009. That's not even 2016. We've seen it, we've heard it, we're trumping it. It's like been debunked. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Walk away and slam the door. Let that go, start again, put in the work, and I think that we can really start to see some awesome success. So I hope you guys liked this chat, and I hope those of you who voted for this aren't disappointed. But I also hope that those of you who didn't vote for the It's Not About You cupcake are still going to tune in next week, because that's going to be our topic of discussion for next week. And I also have some juicy tidbits that may be just as hard to hear as some of the stuff tonight was. But, you know, sometimes it's like lifting weights. Not that I would know. But it's like working out. You feel that burn. Not me. But it's a good burn. So I hope I'll see you guys next week. We're going to be doing the topic of discussion. That's Not All About You cupcake. And we're going to be, you know, continuing to share. So thank you all for joining in on our call and sharing your ideas and your feedback, and, you know, just having this be a great place for everyone to learn and grow. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results of your labor. You know, more gold medals just handed out everywhere, right? All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you all again for joining me. I know I'm over time, but I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place, Facebook wall, 8 p.m.